So today's G personality is Dr. Zakir Hussain. In this video, we will see the great personality Dr. Zakir Hussain and his life theory. He marked a remarkable role in Indian politics. He was born on 1897 and died on 1969. His family includes Shah Jahan Begum, his father Fida Hussain Khan, mother Nazmin Begum. Dr. Zakir Hussain was the third president of India and he was the first to occupy the president post as a Muslim. He was a renowned educationalist and intellectual. His contribution in the development of modern India through education is invaluable. From very young age, Zakir Hussain developed a fascination for politics, which he strived to fulfill through education. He slowly and steadily climbed up the social ladder as an educationalist and soon became one of the most prominent educational thinkers and practitioners of modern India. Hussain strongly believed in the fact that national renaissance could not be attained through active politics all alone. He understood the importance that education would play and thus indulged himself completely in it. For 22 years, he served as the Vice Chancellor of Jamia Millia Islamia, making it one of the most distinguished centers of learning. He spent his entire life working for the cause of education and value of secularism. For his service to the country, he was awarded the Bharat Ratna, India's highest national honor. Zakir Hussain was born to Fida Hussain Khan and Nazmin Begum on February 8, 1897 in Farrukhabad. So, the family was originally based on Hyderabad, but they migrated to Farrukhabad in a place known as Kaim Gaj. He was the third of his 7 sons born to his parents. His early life was full of tragic episodes as his father died when Hussain was nearly 10 years of age, and within 3 years his mother too passed away, leaving Hussain and his 6 siblings orphaned. He completed his early education in an Islamic high school and after that he enrolled to Anglo Muhammadan Oriental College, which is now popular by the name Aligarh Muslim University. So it was while at the college he developed a fascination and a bent for politics that shaped the future of his life. At college, he served as a prominent student leader. In 1918, he passed his BA honours and joined MA, but Khilafat and non-cooperation movement led by Mahatma Gandhi during that time inspired him to lead the government. Now his career. In 1920, he led a small group of students and teachers together and they founded the National Muslim University in October 1920. And 5 years later, they shifted the university to Karol Bagh and before shifting to Jamia Nagar in New Delhi, and later it was shifted to Jamia Nagar and rechristened as Jamia Millia University. For 2 years, that is from 1920 to 1922, he took the position as a teacher in Jamia Millia University. However, his deep interest in education provoked him and he moved to Germany to gain his PhD in economics from Frederick William University of Berlin, eventually banned in 1926. It was in Germany that he came out with a collection of best books of the greatest Urdu poet Mirza Asadullah Khan. Upon returning to India, while other political big bands actively involved themselves in politics, and Mahatma Gandhi's Swaraj and civil disobedience movement, he took a different approach. And the main attractive point is that Hussain used education as his chief tool to contribute in freedom struggle, which is different from other political leaders that we can see during that time. And in 1927, he took over the head of Jamia Millia Islamic University, which had steeply declined in popularity and was facing the threat of closure due to some financial crisis. He aimed to revive the university, and for the next 22 years, he tirelessly worked uplifting the academic and managerial standard of the university. It was under his leadership and that educational institute not just managed to stay afloat but contribute in the Indian struggle for freedom from the British rule. The educational institute under his leadership stuck to its objective of spreading education among the masses. He strongly believed in the fact that national renaissance could not just be gained through active politics. Reformative education would play a dominant role as well. As an educator and teacher, he propagated the teaching of Mahatma Gandhi and Hakim Ajmal Khan and experimented with value-based education. No sooner he became one of the most celebrated educational thinkers of the country. He then became an active member of instilling several educational reform movements in India. It was due to his constant and untiring efforts he gained appreciation for arch political rival like Muhammad Ali Khan as well. And his major movements or his major contribution is not ending till far. In 1937, when Congress won a majority and successfully formed an government, National Educational Conference was called upon to establish a national policy of education. He, along with Gandhi, supported a work-centered education instead of a book-centered one. On October 23rd in 1937, he was elected as a chairman of the Education Committee. His work involved formulating a scheme of basic education as discussed in the conference. He submitted his report on December 1937. Soon in 1948, after India gained independence, he became the Vice Chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University, which faced a crisis situation as some of the teachers were actively involved in partition of the country and boosted their support for creation of a separate state of Pakistan. Following his term as Vice Chancellor, he was nominated to the upper house of Parliament in 1956. However, just after a year being in Rajya Sabha member, he was appointed as the Governor of State Bihar, a position he served for 5 years. In 1962, after resigning or after the post of governor, he was appointed as the Vice President of India. He held the profile for a full 5-year term before being elected to the Chairman of President of India on May 13, 1967. With this, he created history by being the first Muslim to occupy such a prestigious post. During his presidential tenure, he marveled all with his gentleness, courteousness, the sense of humanity. He was kind and tender to all irrespective of their social, political and economic status. He led 4 state visits to Hungary, Yugoslavia, USSR and Nepal. His major work, Jamia Millia Islamic University. He was not only the founder but served as a Vice Chancellor as well. He has contributed so much to the institution that history of two has become inseparable and identical. Major awards and achievements. In 1954, he was awarded with Padma Vibhushan, and in 1963 he was conferred with India's highest national honor, that is Bharat Ratna. He died on 3rd May 1969 on his office while serving as a President of India at Hyderabad. Personal life and legacy. Following the tradition of early marriage, he was married to Shah Jahan Begum when he was at 80. The couple was blessed with 2 daughters. His grandson Salman Khurshid took forward his political legacy by serving as Congress politician, and he birthed his last on May 3rd, 1969. Thus becoming the India's first president to die in office. He was buried on the campus of Jamia Millia Islamic University in New Delhi along the side of his wife. The greatest contribution he made in his life also serves as the biggest example of legacy of his work, which returns till date in the form of Jamia Millia Islamia, which has become one of the most distinguished centers of learning in India, present till now. Thank you for watching. We will be back with another G personality. Till then, stay tuned to our channel.